Good morning, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us today for our mindfulness session, which will include a little theory pad into the 3 levels of consciousness, a little exercise for you to do regarding this topic, and then a time for questions and answers. And lastly, we will be going into a beautiful meditation session, which is bringing us back to our breath, but also a body scan which follows there. So I'm looking forward to being on this journey with you. Now, who am I? My name is Karen, and I am from Naturally You with Karen. I'm a mum of 4 beautiful children aged between 10 and 14. I am a loving partner, or so I like to believe that. I am a woman who likes to help others improve their lives. And that's why I have lots of gifts to offer to others, like, for instance, my essential oils. I offer women's circles, mindfulness. I'm a Reiki master, and I'm also an inner child therapist, just to name a few. So I would love to hear a little bit from you if you are happy to share a little bit about yourself. I'd love to know how you're feeling and what you would like to gain from this today. And while we are sharing, I would like to ask you to do this in 2 or 3 sentences to be mindful and respectful of the time we have and everybody attending here as well. Is there anybody who would like to share a little bit who they are, what they would like to gain today?
Yeah, I will. I'm retired. I've been doing it pretty tough with COVID, like everybody else, but the lockdown's really taken a bit of a toll on me, depression-wise. And for today, I'm just looking for some sort of relaxation methods.
Okay, yeah, so the meditation that we will do at the end will definitely be a good one for that. And in between the 3 layers of consciousness, that is more an insight for yourself where you can work on later on as well. Yeah, beautiful. Yep. Is there anybody else who would like to share? Oh, all right. Well, then I'd like to say thank you for sharing. That was really good. Thank you. And if there are any questions that you have during the session, please write them down. If you like to ask them to me out loud, then please write them down on a piece of paper. If you like to just add them into the chat, that is fine too. So, so you don't need to speak yourself, but I will be answering them afterwards. Okay, so mindfulness. So why do people want to know more about mindfulness? What is it actually doing for us? Through living mindful, people are enhancing their inner health and their well-being. People are improving their happiness, their general sense of fulfillment in virtually every area of their life. With living truly mindfully, people have overcome most complex emotional problems, like, for instance, depression, self-loathing, and even anxiousness, and more. When we apply mindfulness in our lives, it is basically repeated redirecting your attention to just one thing at one time. So before we can come to this, it is very helpful to be aware, which is also a key word in practicing mindfulness. Aware of ourselves, our behavior, and where our behavior comes from. And that's why I wanted to talk about the 3 levels of consciousness today. Let's dive into those. Our consciousness is made up of 3 levels: the unconscious, the subconscious, and the conscious, the subconscious, and the unconscious. Each level of consciousness represents a differing degree of intensity of awareness. Now, to make the 3 levels of consciousness even more clear, I will be using Sigmund Freud's iceberg theory. And this uses the illustration of an iceberg to separate these three levels of consciousness. I'm trying to talk and share my screen at the same time. That is not happening for me, so I will do one at a time now. And I will get this picture going for us. Where is it? There we go. Oh, can you see this, what I'm sharing? Can you see the iceberg?
Yes.
Yeah, perfect. What else can you see? Only the iceberg?
The depth of the ice.
Okay. That's exactly what I want. So you can see the iceberg. Perfect. So this uses the illustration of an iceberg to separate these three levels of consciousness. In a similar fashion, we can use an iceberg as a helpful metaphor to understand how much of ourselves we choose to reveal to other people. And as you can see above the water, it's a small bit. That is actually what the people see, or what we choose for people to see. As an iceberg floats in the water, the huge mass that is down the bottom of it remains below the surface, and only a small percentage of the whole iceberg is visible above the surface. And the largest and most influential part remains unseen below the surface. Think, for instance, of the movie of Titanic. That's a very good example, that they see an iceberg, but they had no idea it was actually that big, that when they went past it, they thought they were clear. However, underneath the surface, the boat was completely ripped to pieces by the iceberg, unfortunately. In exactly the same way, each of us will often have a part of ourselves that we reveal to others, with the larger part of ourselves being deeply submerged, that no one ever gets to see, and maybe even ourselves not being fully aware of it. So let's go to that first level of consciousness, and that is known as the conscious state. And this refers to the rational awareness that guides our everyday decisions. We make use of our conscious mind when we take an input from our senses, analyze the information, and then make decisions based on this information. The conscious mind consists of what we are aware of at any given point in time. It includes the things that we are thinking about right now, whether it is in front of our minds or the back. If we are aware of it, then it is in the conscious mind. For instance, at this moment, you may be really consciously be aware of the information that you've been given now by me by listening in. However, it can also be that you are reading something, or that you're being very consciously taking notes, or maybe there's music in the background that you're conscious of, or sounds, other sounds in the background. So being aware of where your consciousness is at this moment. All of the thoughts that pass through your mind, the sensations and perceptions from the outside world, and the memories that you bring into your awareness are all part of that conscious experience. Now, I was told this experience, which I like to share with you, which was something I was taken aback by. There's this man sitting in a train, in one of the carriages, and he's reading his book, and it's very nice, it's peaceful. And then at the next stop, a man and his two children come into the train. He sits down and his children are running around, and they're running around through the carriage, and it's actually starting to bother the man who is reading his book. And he's like, oh, why doesn't he keep his kids down? Why don't he set them down? Why? They are disturbing the peace here, etc. And at some point, it just gets too much, all the impressions that he is getting and he is putting into his mind, his conscious mind. And he gets up and he goes to this man, and he actually talks to him. Hey, your children are running through the carriages and it's disturbing the peace here. And then the man who brought the children in looks up with tears in his eyes, and he looks in the eyes of the other man saying, I'm sorry, we just got into the train. We just came from their mum's funeral, and I just actually want to keep life as normal and as happy for them as possible, to give them an experience which is not only negative at that moment. And the man who was reading his book was really stepping back and thinking, oh my goodness, what have I just done? I've only heard part of the story. I do not have all the information to actually have gone and kind of attacked this man. I thought that story was so striking here, was so moving. The next level of consciousness, which you can see is then below, a little bit below the surface of the water, is the subconscious. It's fairly dim in awareness, so it's the stuff that dreams are made of. We can consider it as the storehouse of all remembered experiences and impressions, and are left on the mind by such experiences and tendencies that are awakened or reinforced by these impressions. Now, that was a big mouthful. Every experience you have ever had, every thought, every impression lives in the subconscious mind and influences our patterns of thought and behavior far more than we realize. The subconscious holds information that is just below the surface of awareness, so just below the surface of that water level as well, if you are looking at the iceberg. An individual can retrieve such information with relative ease, and we usually refer to these as memories. For example, if someone asked you right now what your middle name was, would you be able to recall it? I think
Yes.
you would. Yes, I think you would. Well done. Or maybe if I ask you, what did you have for breakfast this morning? I think most people can answer that as well. The further back you go, the more difficult, more challenging this would be. So it needs to be kind of recent and relevant as well. Because if I would go, what did you have on, I don't know, your birthday last year, or who were there, then you'd probably be able to recall this because it has a certain relevance for you. So beliefs from the past are from experiences. That's what's in the subconscious. They are actually beliefs from the past, from experiences. So these are beliefs that may not be true at all. For instance, I have carried along with me a long time that I am a slow learner, that I am not a good learner. And those were based on experiences I've had in my primary school, where I had troubles to find the strategy that suited me best to help me thrive and do my schoolwork. There were not that many strategies there that really fitted me. So once I found my strategies and I found that, in Dutch we say ezelsbruggetje, I'll find that little thing to hop over that bridge that I had created myself by thinking, oh, I'm a slow learner, I'm a not good learner. But then I saw, hey, I can change something. And it didn't happen in primary school. This happened far after. This happened somewhere in my secondary school, but tertiary school. That's when I started to see, hey, it's actually not I'm actually not a slow learner. I'm actually really good at learning. I just need to find my way of learning. So these are the kind of things, these beliefs that are being nestled within us from experiences past, that's all in our subconscious. Does it all still make sense for people? You can give it a thumbs up if you want to, if you don't want to speak. It's just as long as I know that it's all, they were all still on the same page. That would be
Yes.
Perfect. So the final level of this is the unconscious level. So that's even deeper in the ocean, deeper in ourselves. And this is made up of thoughts and memories and primitive instinctual desires that are buried really deep within ourselves, far below our conscious and subconscious awareness. Even though we are not aware of their existence, they have a significant influence on our behavior. Although our behaviors tend to indicate the unconscious forces driving them, we can't readily access the information which is stored in the unconscious mind. Most of the time when we are having a behavior, do you stop and think, oh, where did this come from? Where did this pattern come from? Most of us don't do this, or don't realize where it really comes from. So throughout our childhood, we gathered many different memories and experiences that formed the beliefs and fears and insecurities that we carry today. However, we cannot recall most of these memories. So for me, with the slow learner, I can recall that. I know when that was. But there are other things that you can have had as a child, an experience as a child, that you are not aware of anymore. And that can have really long-term effects, that you have brought that in as a belief for yourself, which is creating a certain pattern, a certain behavior pattern for you. For example, things in your unconscious that might be forgotten include negative experiences from your past. A strong dislike for a parent could be there, or a traumatic event that you pushed out of your subconscious. I've done that in my past, and that wasn't even a young child experience. This was as a teenage experience, as a teenager, an experience where this was so traumatic that I didn't want to face it, and I basically pushed it out of my mind. I didn't want to face it. I couldn't face it. It was too much hurt. There was too much trauma there. And that had carried on in certain patterns towards certain people, towards my stand in life. And I did not know why I was doing that until a certain experience came up that triggered this, that brought me right back to that traumatic experience and made me see where it was coming from and what it was doing to me, and that I really needed to face this traumatic experience and work through it. And with that, being able to let go of certain feelings and of strategies and patterns that I had put into my life. So things like fears and motives, greed, irrational urges, insecurities, hurts, anger, they may all live in our unconscious, and they can be built on from experiences that we've had young, or traumatic experiences that we have just pushed out of our mind. Yeah. Connected to learning from way back, not even when we were learning. So it can be from really young. It can also be from a little bit older, depending how you are responding to it as well. For instance, this is another beautiful example I was told. There was this man walking down the street, doing his work, sorry, he was doing his work, and there was a bee and it stung him, and it was a quick sting, and he was like, ouch, that hurts, but that was it. And the bee went off and he did his own thing. However, over time, this bee spot where he was stung started to become bigger and pulsating and redder and rather painful. So on his way home after work, he kind of didn't think about it anymore, and he passed an old friend, which he hadn't seen for a long time. And his old friend was so excited to see him. So he came over and he just patted him, probably maybe a little bit too much, but normally it wouldn't be too much, but it was right on that wasp sting. So the first man, he just reacted immensely and immediately out of pain, and he just unleashed. But did his friend actually intend to hurt on purpose? Nah, he did not. He was just asking how he was doing, and he was interested in him. So the reaction that was given there was worse to the slap, the reaction to the slap was worse than to the actual wasp. He had forgotten about the wasp, but that was still there. And the hurt experienced in our life when we were young that started this learning process accumulates over time as well. And it can just build up. Becoming more mindfully aware of the unconscious parts of you and that are leading you in your decision making and also in your reactions, that can really help you. And we can only take responsibility for things if we understand where they come from. Choosing that what serves you best with all information you have at that moment. For instance, with these lockdowns at the moment, or that we've had, there's been people reacting all differently because it is it is evoking different feelings within people. It's bringing maybe memories back or different patterns or things that they don't want to see. It's bringing it all up to the surface, and it is actually perfect time to look deeper into those. Like, why am I reacting like this? Why is that mirror there for me? What is there? It's not always a nice or an easy thing to do. However, it is a very good thing to do. Yeah. All right, I'm going to stop share for the moment and come back here. Are there any questions so far? No? Are we getting out of this what we like to get? Are you getting some information that is useful for you at the moment?
Yeah.
Yeah, wonderful. All right, beautiful. Then I would like to invite us all, if you have a pen and paper nearby, to take that pen and paper, because I like to, this one now, share this with you. Oh, all right, beautiful. That's it. I like to share this one with you. Sorry. So I'd like to invite you to have your pen and paper ready and draw yourself such an iceberg as you can see right here, with a little pad on the top and then a big pad on the bottom. And now I'd like to invite you to actually explore the parts of you that can be seen and experienced by others. And I'd like you to write them down at the top, and the parts of you that people cannot see and experience, and write them down the bottom. I'll give you a little moment for that. And this is not a test or anything. You don't need to, this is solely for you. This is very personal. And this applies only to you. So what is on my sheet, my iceberg, may be completely different to what is in your iceberg. There's no right or wrong. I'm just inviting you to dive a little bit deeper into the parts of yourself, the parts that you allow people to see, and the parts of you that people do not see. I will not stay too long here, but know that you can still finish this after this session as well. It's a very, very helpful exercise to step a little bit deeper into ourselves and get aware of certain things. Is there anybody who would like to share something? You are most welcome to. I understand if you don't want to, and that's fine too. No, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. Perfect. Then I am going to go to the next. I'm stopping this share. And there's another one, again, a iceberg that has got, there we go, this one. Yep, okay, so there's this one. And then this one is a different one. Yes, it's the iceberg, but at the top, I would like you to write the parts of you that you would like people to see. And at the bottom, so under the surface, I would like you to write the things, the parts of you that you can change today, that you are aware of, that you can change, and that you can make that step forward to sharing you authentically with others. And especially the ones from beneath the surface, those are the parts of you that you can change today. They are really valuable because they allow you to grow a more deeper and more meaningful relationship with the people around you, with the people you love, the people that you let into your life. Again, I won't stay here too long because you can finish it afterwards, after the session. Is there anybody who would like to share this with us? Again, you don't have to. No, you don't have to. That's all good. Does it give you a better perspective of yourself? Is this helping you? Is this a helpful exercise for you? Yeah?
Yes.
Perfect. Perfect. That is great. That is great. All right. If everybody is okay, I would like to go to the next part then. Is that okay? Yeah, just give a thumbs up if you're ready for it.
Yep.
Yep, perfect. Okay, so next part is actually question and answering time. So if you have anything that we've spoken about that you'd like to know a little bit more about, or it wasn't fully clear, please do ask now, or even in the chat. If you don't want to speak out loud, that is fine, but you do have a question, ask it there and I will answer it there. I'll stop sharing. Here we go. I don't see anything coming up. So I am presuming that everything is very clear and that we can move on to the next part. Yeah. Now we are going to go into a meditation. For this meditation, it's alleviate stress with 3 deep breaths. It's that this with me, which nicely It gets me confused sometimes. Tongue twisters. Do you prefer to have music very softly running in the background while we meditate? Yes? Okay, I will turn on the music. I will advance computer. There we go. And I will turn this on. Now you should hear this very softly. Is this at an okay level? Is this level of, yes? Perfect. I don't want it to be too loud, that's all. Now for this exercise, if you have the possibility to kind of lay, if you are, how you are sitting there laying back, that's perfect. If you can lay down, that would be great as well. Yeah. For this one, right, let's get into it. We begin by taking a deep breath in and hold it for 5 seconds. Exhale and relax. Take another deep breath in, as deep as you can, and hold it. And as you exhale, just imagine blowing out all of your stress. Take a third deep breath in into your tummy and hold it. And as you exhale, you blow out any stress you've been holding on to, saying to yourself, relax now. Imagining any stress melting away like wax under the warm, beautiful flame. This is your new solution to stress. Whenever you become stressed in the future, you simply take 3 fully in and deep breaths, holding it at the top of the inhalation for 5 seconds. And when you exhale, blow out any stresses that you feel. And on the 3rd breath, as you exhale, you simply say to yourself, relax now. Begin by slowly blinking your eyes, and with each number I say, blink once. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Allow your eyes to gently close. And when you do this, you feel a wave of relaxation sweep over you. Now I would like you to focus on the sensations at the top of your head. Just notice how the very top of your head feels. Let your focus move down to your eyes and just notice how your eyes feel and ask them to relax even more. The little movement in your eyes is called rapid eye movement and is completely normal. These small eye movements allow for you to feel calm. Notice how the back of your head feels against the surface that it is touching. How heavy does your head feel right now? Let your focus move to your nose and feel the slight sensation of the air moving in and out with your breath. When you breathe in, imagine that you are being filled with calmness. And when you breathe out, imagine your body feels heavy and deeply relaxed. You're doing very good. Beautiful. Now focus on your ears. Notice how they feel and what they hear around you. Try to hear every single noise. When sounds come into your ears, they act as little waves of relaxation, taking you even deeper. Focus on your mouth. How does it feel? And what do you notice? Can you sense the flavor of something you recently tasted? Perhaps you can imagine biting into a fresh slice of lemon and you notice how your mouth waters. Very good. Move your focus down to your neck. And if there is any tension, just ask it to release a little more. Notice how your neck feels right now. And just feel all of the sensations in your neck. And if you need to shift or move a little bit to make something more comfortable, you can do so. Focus on your shoulders and move your attention slowly going down each arm, down, all the way to each fingertip. What are your fingertips touching right now? Feel the sensations on your fingertips. Beautiful. Allow your focus to go to your chest, relaxing this area as well as your upper back. And if you notice any tension, just ask it nicely to release just a little. You can ask the help of a warm candle as well, by imagining the stresses as wax and the warm flame melting away this candle wax, this stress. Now imagine you are focusing on your heart and feeling it beating strongly, supporting you. Relax your heart and notice how good it feels to do so. Simply say, relax. Your focus shifts to your lungs. Feel them gently expanding and contracting with your breath, delivering oxygen to your body. Feel that natural flow. Allow your focus to move down to your vital organs and digestive system. Just notice your belly and how it feels. Just observe it working and digesting effortlessly for you. Feel your tummy rising with the breath in and lowering on the breath out. You are doing so well. Now notice your lower back and how it is pressing against the surface you are on. And if you feel any tension, just say, please relax a little more. Focusing on your pelvis now and your hips, and notice any sensations you are having there. This takes you even deeper into a state of relaxation, allowing your focus to move down each leg, slowly relaxing those as well. Feel that wave going down your legs. Your legs have been taking you so many places over the years, and they deserve to fully relax. Notice this beautiful, wonderful wave of relaxation moving down to your knees and down your lower legs, all the way to your feet and the very tip of each toe. You're doing so good. Just observe your body now. Feel the relaxation and be at one with it. Enjoy the calming feelings in your body system, in your energy fields. Beautiful. I can see you also wonderfully relaxed. It is time to slowly come back to ourselves again and back to the here and now, and we'll do this very easily, very slowly. With your next breath in, thank yourself today for taking the time to work on yourself, to honor and to nourish yourself, and breathe out. Coming back to yourself again, aware of the room you are sitting in and aware of the environment around you, the scents, the sounds, the temperature. When you are ready, I invite you to slowly start wiggling your toes, your fingers, maybe even have a little bit of movement in your spine or your neck to slowly bring you back. But keep that peaceful feeling with you. Slowly half open your eyes to let your eyes adjust to the light again. And gently, in your own time, when you feel ready, you can open up your eyes completely. Welcome back. This brings us to the end of our session today. If you have any questions that you have not been able to ask now, please reach out. I'm more than happy to answer any questions. And if you'd like to go into weekly meditations with me, then I'd like to invite you to go to my page, Naturally You with Karen, and I have weekly meditations, not posted there, but in another group. I have an invite on that page, so you can go into the other group and be part of our weekly meditations. We run them actually twice a week. Sunday morning is one, and another one either on Wednesday night or Friday night.